So I was reading this the other day and I knew I had to share it with you guys. So I've been in First Thessalonians, book you really don't hear a lot of people talk about, but a fantastic book full of lots of encouragement and lots of solid instruction. And so I was reading the second chapter and I came across this verse right here. And we also thank God constantly for this, that when you received the word of God, which you heard from us, you accepted it not as the word of men, but as what it really is, the word of God, which is at work in you believers. Now, a lot of interesting stuff going on here. Interesting thing. You received the word of God, not as men, but you received it as of God. So, interesting repetition there. You're saying, why is that? Well, because it's huge. Again, this word that Paul is talking about, preaching and sharing, wasn't his idea. It was God's idea. And it's important not only just for us to believe, but to understand that this word committed to us that's been shared with us isn't simply just another story, simply something that sounded good, but it is from heaven. God originated the gospel. God created it. In fact, when God sent his son onto the earth, not only did he send him to redeem and to save, but he sent him to preach the message, which would also help in that redemption story of mankind. You see, we cannot believe, we cannot receive salvation unless we believe, receive the gospel, which came from God, which came from Jesus, who Jesus preached, which is the reality of Jesus' saving work on this earth. And it's important to remember and to believe that it came with him, because again, it matters who a story comes from. It has weight, it has credibility, it has value. It's different if, think of for instance, right now, we see all the tabloid articles. If you go to the grocery store, Walmart or something, and just has outrageous, outlandish claims in there about celebrities, but we really don't take those serious. Now, if TMZ or some large news corporation reports on something, then we open our eyes, we take that serious. And so it's important that God came and preached this message. It's important that God came and taught. It's important that God is spoke through and is speaking through men and women today, because it must be of the utmost urgency to listen to God. It must be important. What could be more important than God speaking to us, or the words that he has to say to us? And I think we lose some of that urgency. We lose some of that respect here in America because we're just so indifferent. We like to think of ourselves, our own personalities, our own ideas as being absolute in our lives. In reality, we must submit to God, God's reality, the reality of his authority, the reality of his words being above our own, and his mind, his ways being above our own. And to realize that that's okay. And that's how he designed us to be. It goes against everything in our culture to believe so and to do so, but it goes with the order of creation. It goes with God to agree with that. And so my encouragement today, guys, is we read the Bible, we listen to wonderful men and women of God preach and teach, and we're touched and we see something that's speaking to us. Let's not think of it as coincidence. Let's not think of it, oh wow, what a good piece of information, a good piece of advice. But let's realize what it is, what it truly is, that it is God, the sovereign God, creator of the universe, our creator, wanting to speak to us something, wanting to communicate something. Now, if God would, in his kindness and his love, take the time to speak to us, brothers and sisters, how much more important is it for us to take the time to listen? Not to just listen as somebody who's irrespective or somebody that's just isn't worth the time, but listen as if the most important person being in the universe is speaking to us. That's a level of attention and dedication and sincerity we must give to the word or to the Bible. Let's not be flippant. Let's not just take everything as a joke, but let's take it seriously and appreciate that. That is true. It's important and it matters. And what God is speaking to you today matters. No matter how insignificant you think it is, God has a purpose and a plan for it, and He knows what He's doing.
Amen.